everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk, and thank you very much for joining me today. This is the card that I've been making today, and it is a very clean and simple card, and believe it or not, I found this to be really challenging. This one took me right out of my comfort zone. The reason why I made this card was because at our onstage event back in November, we were challenged, we being Stampin' Up demonstrators, to think about what it was like for us at the start of our stamping journey, back when we'd just discovered rubber stamps, and you know, it was all very new. And of course, you want to have everything, but you can't have everything. So we were challenged to make projects that were just using card, stamps, and ink. Now, if you've watched this channel at all, you will know that that is so far out of my comfort zone. I can't even see my comfort zone from there, because I love the papers and the glimmer and the punches and the die cuts, and I love all of that stuff. And yeah, just stamps and ink and a card. Can I make something? You know, can I make something that's worth looking at with just those ingredients? And this is what I've made. And you know what? I am really pleased with myself. So I'm going to show you how I made it. And let's go right back to the beginning of my stamping journey. Okay, so this is what I've got. I'm using this stamp, which is from Falling Flowers, and I really like that swirl. I think it's a very useful stamp, and I use it quite a bit. So I'm just going to put that on one side. This is one of the Whisper White notelets. I think you get 20 in a pack, and they're about £6.50, something like that. So you get the note cards and you get the envelopes, so they are a really good bargain. I am going to cover my work surface. I've got a silicone mat here, and you could use one from out of the kitchen. Just, you know, don't bake cakes on it afterwards, that's all. And this is lovely lipstick ink. Now, the first one I made was in Blueberry Bushel, but I think I'm going to make another one, and this time I am going to make a pinky red one. And I chose lovely lipstick because it is quite a pinky red. You know, it's quite towards the magenta end of the spectrum. So I've inked up my stamp, which I've stuck onto my clear block with lots and lots of light tapping, and I've brought the ink pad to the stamp, not the other way around. Now I'm just going to kind of by eye gauge where I want this to go, and I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to push down, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives time for the ink to transfer. You know, you don't want to do a hit and run. And there you go. Look at that. Now that is lovely as it is. I'm just going to get a baby wipe and clean up my stamp. Now I do have my Simply Chamois, but I'm going to go old school on this, because when I first started stamping, Simply Chamois had not been invented. I've been stamping for about 20 years, and I think in the cupboard somewhere I've still got the very first rubber stamp that I bought, and it was by a company called Personal Stamp Exchange, who don't think they're trading anymore, but I loved it at the time. Okay, so there is my my image on my card, and I'm just gonna take it up a level. Now I could leave it just the way it is, but I am going to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. And this is a damp paper towel. So all I've done is I've put a paper towel into my polystyrene plate, and I've just poured water onto it, because I want my brush to be just damp. And that's because this Whisper White isn't really intended for watercolouring on. You know, it's meant to be, it's great for stamping on. It's absolutely perfect for stamping on, and if you want to blend colour on it, it's amazing. But it's not meant for getting really, really wet. So I just want my brush to just be just on wet, and all I'm doing is I'm pulling in the ink from the edge of the stamped image, and I think maybe I want that to be a little bit wetter. I'm just going to add just a drop more water. That's been sitting there while I've been yakking away, and yeah, I'm just pulling in ink from the edge of my image. It's a bit like those magic painting books you used to get when you were a child, and they just looked, you know, they just looked plain until you got them wet, and then it brought the dry ink to life. And just play. Now, you don't have to do this. You could leave the image as it was stamped, and how far you take this is entirely up to you. You know? A little bit more water, just a little bit more. Just pull out the ink. Just pull the colour out. And this is the first time I've really used this colour, this lovely lipstick. And I think it's really pretty. I mean, if I want red, I've usually gone to, yeah, you see that's not wet enough, so I'm going to bring in my little pot of water and just dry my brush off. I don't want to flood it, but I do want my brush to be wet enough to pick up the colours. Yeah, so I really like Poppy Parade as well, and that is a nice orangey red. And real red is, you know, what it says on the tin. It's a very clear red. And Cherry Cobbler is a more of a, you know, of a darker red, bolder red. But lovely lipstick is a nice pinky kind of red. Okay. So I'm going to leave that and bring back the one I did in the Blueberry Bliss, Blueberry Bushel, Blueberry Bliss. And as you can see, I did a little bit more, pulled the blue out there. I don't think I'm going to do that on that one, but I am going to stamp a sentiment, which is from Thankful Thoughts. Now, you don't need to put a sentiment there, but I was thinking that at this time of year, you know, with it being holiday season and all, and it's time of year when we are giving and getting gifts, then, you know, thank you cards might come in handy. So again, I've taken the pad to the stamp, lots of light tapping, going to kind of eyeball where I want that, press that down onto my card and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and take that away. Okay, and now I'm going to put that on one side just for it to dry. So now I have 2 thank you cards. I'm having so much fun. I'm going to do another one. Now this time, this is one of our small skinny notelets, and again it comes in a pack I think of 20, and again it's got matching envelopes, and this time I'm going to use Call Me Clover, and I've got this leaf stamp again from the falling flowers. Inked it up, lots of light tapping, kind of eyeball where I want it. Now I'm angling my card so that I can get a good run at it with my stamp, and when I'm happy with where I want it to go, and I'm just going to press that one down because that looked like it was going to come away from the block. And thank goodness Stampin' Up have now got a new cling mount on their stamps, and look at that. Again, wiping off my stamp with the same baby wipe. Put that off to one side. Now this time, do I have space for the thank you message? Yes, I do. Quick ink up. Okay. Now this time, I am going to use my water again, but I'm actually going to use my ink in a different way. So I'm going to put a little bit of ink onto my clear block, a little bit of water, and just wet the leaf very lightly, don't want too much, and just add in some more colour from the block, just like that. And the thing to do is to work quickly and to not overwork it. Okay, don't kind of try and overdo it. And I am liking this effect very much. So get that wet, a little bit of ink, and work it in. There you go. And again, cleaning up with a baby wipe. And try not to put your thumb in the ink pad, because that won't help anybody at all. Okay. Right. Now, I want to give these some good time to dry. But I just want to show you one more thing with the blueberry bushel one, and that is, this is my Wink of Stella pen, and perhaps this is cheating a little bit, but this is kind of taking it to the next level. Now Wink of Stella is water soluble. Alright, so you need to be a little bit careful with it. Don't get it everywhere, or your ink will start to run. And I'm going to, at this point, I am going to just do one more bit, just there and there, and now I am going to step away from the card. So there you are. That is my attempt at simple stamping using only card, stamps, and ink, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Normal service will be resumed probably in my next video, when I'm going to start getting inky and playing with die cuts and punches and all that good stuff again. But yeah, very pleased with the way they came out, and it was really good to get back to the basics again. So that is it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you come back and see me sometime again soon. But for now, bye bye.